Danswer is an AI tool which enables to query internal documents using natural language, providing trustworthy answers accompanied by quotes and references from the source material. The cool thing about the answer is that it integrates with popular tools like Slack, GitHub, Confluence, and lot of other integrations, and the list is growing. There are other tools too which does the same thing, but the good thing about the answer is that its inference speed is quite good and it is easier to set up. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up the answer on your local system on Linux. I'll be using AWS EC2 instance with G4D and XLarge instance type, which has 1 GPU. One of the prerequisites to start using the answer is to have Docker and Docker Compose installed. So let's first install those two things. Let me log into my terminal. So this is my Ubuntu terminal. Let me show you my Ubuntu operating system's details so that if you are following, you can install the same. There you go. So I'm using 22.04 Ubuntu, codename Jammy. So make sure that you have this one too. Let me clear the screen. And now let's first, because it's a brand new installation of Ubuntu, so let's update everything here. So I'll just say sudo apt update. Let's update everything. And just on the safer side, let's also upgrade it once this one is finished. Shouldn't take too long because it's a brand new AMI from AWS. That's done. Let's also upgrade it. Yes. Let's wait for it to finish. Shouldn't take too long because most of the packages are already updated. And because this is a G4DN instance and I'm using NVIDIA's GPU, so you make sure that you also have NVIDIA's drivers installed. You can try it out on CPU too, but I would suggest that GPU would be good for the inference speed and the quality of responses. It is almost done. Let's wait for it to come back. Press enter here, again enter, and we are good. It's done. Let's clear the screen. Now let's quickly check if we have the Ubuntu driver devices. It's not there. Now let's check um, if there is any existing NVIDIA drivers. Let's purge them because we are going to install them from scratch. If you find any, just run this uninstall command and press enter. If it failed, that is fine. Just control C. And now also make sure that you don't have CUDA. I'm going to install it from scratch. Yeah, that is cool. Now let's do Ubuntu device drivers. As you can see that I don't have Ubuntu drivers installed, so let's first install it. So this command is simple: apt install Ubuntu device drivers common. Press yes here, press enter, enter, and we should be good. Now let's do the auto install here. Let's wait for it to finish. Again, press enter here, enter, and this is done. And now we need to reboot the system. So just type the reboot command here and then press enter. I guess it should be with the root. So I'll just go to root and reboot. That's it. Let's log in back again. I have logged in back after the reboot and I have changed my user to sudo. Now let's check if NVIDIA drivers have been installed. It should show us NVIDIA drivers. Yep, so all good. We have NVIDIA drivers now. Let's clear the screen and now let's install ELSA utils which are required for this. Press yes, and let's wait for them to finish. Shouldn't take too long. That's done. Cool. Now let's clear it and then start installing Docker. So this is a command to use Docker. Let's wait for it to come back. Shouldn't take too long. That is done. Now let's check out the distribution with this GPG key. That is successful. Now let's add the Docker group that is already there, and now give Docker the proper rights, the user, so that it would be able to run it. That's done. Now let me clear the screen, and also let's give Docker user the rights on this docker.sock. That is done. Now quickly check if Docker is installed correctly. Just run hello world application, and I believe it is running because it is now downloading it. That is cool. Okay, so our Docker is installed. Let's also quickly check if Docker Compose is also there. So Docker Compose version, the Docker Compose is there. We also need Git, which comes with this Ubuntu, but let's check. Yes, Git is also there. So we have all the prerequisites. Now, what we have done so far, we have upgraded our Ubuntu operating system. We have installed Docker, we have which comes with Docker Compose. We have also installed NVIDIA's drivers because we are using NVIDIA's GPU. Now we need to clone the GitHub repo of this project, the answer. Let me show you the repo too. So go to this GitHub repo and I'll drop the link in video's description. Click on this green button and then grab this URL. Once you have grabbed this URL, go back to your terminal and just say git clone and that GitHub repo. It is going to clone it in the present directory, which it has done. Let's quickly check ls. So we are there. Now cd to this directory to ls-ltr. We have all of the structure. Let's cd to the answer in the deployment folder. Then again ls, and you can see we have this that Docker Compose here. And let's go into the Docker Compose. Let's be clear and then ls-ltr. Now, so all we need to do here, we can our Docker engine is up, so we need to bring the images from Docker Hub and then run the danswer. So let me paste the command here. This is a command so where we are using Docker Compose and using this Docker Compose YAML file which is already there, and then we are giving it all the images and force recreate if it is already there. Let's press enter and you can see that it is pulling, and once it is done then it should be showing us that it is running on port 3000. So let's wait for it to finish. The graphics are pretty nice. Okay, let's wait for it to finish. Shouldn't take too long, I believe, because if you see the size is around 3.5 gig on this layer. I will let it run so that you could see in real time. And on the right hand side, it is, as is the case with Docker layer, it is showing us the ETA. Almost all of the layers have been pulled. So let me show you that it is done now. All of the Docker images are done. Now, when this says that it started and created, then you can simply go on to your localhost IP and access it in your browser at port 3000. And as I'm behind the firewall, so my port 3000 is not really accessible at this time. But if you can see that your status of your Docker container is up, as you can see with this Docker PS command. You should be good to access it on port 3000, as you can see here. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. And if you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much.